Bottled water? Convenient, clean, and refreshing, right? It's practically become a status symbol, like carrying around a tiny, overpriced yoga mat that tells the world, "Look at me, I hydrate better than you." But what if I told you there's a dirty secret hiding behind that plastic bottle? A truth so murky it would make a swamp monster say, "Ooh, that's a bit much, even for me." In this video, we're diving headfirst into the world of bottled water, uncovering the truth that big companies with their fancy marketing and pristine mountain labels don't want you to know. We're talking about the real cost of that pure H2O, and trust me, it's not just the $2.99 you forked over at the convenience store. Stick around because, by the end of this, you might just find yourself reaching for a reusable bottle instead. And if the thought of carrying a reusable bottle makes you feel less like a glamorous influencer and more like a middle-aged dad on a hiking trip, well, that's just one of the many things we'll be unpacking today. Hey, comment down below, which water source do you use regularly? And also subscribe to the channel for similar videos. Now let's dive into the topic. Let's start with the obvious. Most of us buy bottled water because we believe it's purer and safer than tap water, right? It's the image they sell us. Pristine glaciers, bubbling mountain springs, water so clean it could wash away your sins and cure your existential dread. But here's the shocking truth. Up to 64% of bottled water comes straight from municipal tap water. That's right, it's just tap water in a fancy bottle with a higher price tag. We're basically paying for the plastic equivalent of a participation trophy. Now, you might be thinking, well, at least they filter it, right? And yes, some companies do filter the water further, using fancy-sounding processes like reverse osmosis and UV disinfection, but many don't. In some cases, the water you're drinking is no better or even worse than the water coming out of your kitchen faucet. It's like going to a fancy restaurant, ordering a $20 plate of pasta, and finding out it's just the same spaghetti you have in your pantry, but with a sprig of wilted parsley on top. And the best part? They get away with it. They slap words like purified or from a municipal source on the label, hidden amongst pictures of majestic mountains and sparkling waterfalls, and we just lap it up. It's enough to make you wonder what else we're being sold as premium when it's really just the basic model with a new paint job. So, the next time you're tempted to grab a bottle of glacier water from the supermarket shelf, remember, you're probably just paying for a marketing campaign and some fancy packaging. And that's before we even get to the environmental impact. Let's talk about the bottle itself. That symbol of convenience, that bastion of single-use plastic, that thing you're probably going to throw away the second you're done with it. Most bottled water is sold in plastic made from polyethylene terephthalate, or PET as the cool kids call it. Now, before you start throwing out all your plastic in a fit of eco-anxiety, PET is considered safe, at least by the people who make it. But, and this is a big but, studies show that plastics can leach chemicals like BPA or microplastics into the water, especially if the bottle is exposed to heat or stored for long periods. You know, like being shipped across the country in the back of a sweltering truck, or sitting in your car on a hot summer day. And these aren't just harmless molecules out for a swim. Oh no, these chemicals have been linked to all sorts of fun things like hormonal imbalances, fertility issues, and even certain cancers. It's like playing a game of chemical roulette, except you don't even get to spin the chamber. And don't even get me started on microplastics. These tiny plastic particles are so small they're practically invisible, which is great for them because it means they can sneak into our bodies undetected and wreak havoc on our systems. It's like having a microscopic party in your bloodstream, except the guests are all plastic and they never leave. Okay, deep breaths everyone. We've covered the misleading marketing and the potential health risks, but now it's time to talk about the real elephant in the room, or rather, the plastic bottle-shaped albatross around the neck of our planet. Did you know that over 1 million plastic bottles are bought every minute worldwide? That's enough to circle the globe over 4,000 times every single minute. And out of these millions, only about 9% get recycled. The rest? Well, they embark on a much less glamorous journey, ending up in landfills, oceans, or incinerators, where they can take hundreds, if not thousands of years to decompose. And it's not like these bottles are just chilling out in landfills, harmlessly playing cards with old tires and broken toasters. Oh no, they're leaching harmful chemicals into the soil and groundwater, releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and generally making a nuisance of themselves. But the real tragedy is happening in our oceans. Plastic pollution is devastating marine life and ecosystems. Fish are mistaking plastic for food, turtles are getting caught in plastic rings, and entire coral reefs are being suffocated by plastic waste. It's a plastic apocalypse down there, and we're the ones supplying the ammunition. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the production and transportation of bottled water generate massive carbon emissions, contributing to climate change. So not only are we drowning our planet in plastic, we're also cranking up the heat while we do it. It's like we're trying to win a Worst Environmental Stewards Award, and frankly, we're running unopposed. Let's rewind for a second and address the elephant in the room, or rather the misconception flowing from the tap. Many people assume bottled water is safer than tap water, that it's a one-way ticket to hydration purity, a baptism in a bottle. But here's the thing, that's not always the case. In fact, tap water in many developed countries is strictly regulated and tested more frequently than bottled water. That's right, the water coming out of your kitchen sink often has to meet higher standards than the water you're paying a premium for. Think about it. Tap water is overseen by government agencies, with regulations and testing protocols designed to ensure its safety. Bottled water, on the other hand, is often subject to less rigorous oversight, with companies self-reporting their safety practices. It's like the difference between having your homework checked by a teacher and just telling your parents you did it when, really, you spent the whole afternoon watching cat videos on YouTube. And the irony is, while some people are shelling out hard-earned cash for bottled water because they believe it's safer, their tap water might actually be cleaner. It's like buying a guard dog and then finding out your pet hamster is a black belt in karate. So, what's the solution? Well, before you start stockpiling bottled water like a doomsday prepper preparing for a water shortage, consider this. Filtering your tap water is often a safer, cheaper, and more eco-friendly solution. It's like having your own personal water treatment plant, minus the hefty price tag and the questionable fashion choices of a lab coat and safety goggles. Now, let's talk about the real reason many of us choose bottled water convenience. It's portable, it's readily available, and it fits perfectly in those little cup holders that cars have, which, let's be honest, is the real selling point. But here's the thing about convenience, it comes at a price. And I'm not just talking about the environmental price, which, as we've established, is already astronomical. I'm talking about the actual, literal price. Think about it. A gallon of bottled water can cost up to 2,000 times more than tap water. Let me repeat that, 2,000 times. That's like buying a cup of coffee for $500 or a movie ticket for $10,000. Imagine spending $2,000 on something you could get almost for free. It's enough to make you want to invest in a lifetime supply of reusable water bottles and a personal water filtration system for your shower head. And for what? The privilege of carrying around a single-use plastic bottle that's likely filled with the same water that comes out of your tap? It's like paying a premium for the illusion of luxury, when in reality you're just getting played. So, the next time you're tempted to grab a bottle of water because it's just $1, remember? That dollar adds up. And wouldn't you rather spend that dollar on something that actually brings you joy? Like a delicious cup of coffee, a good book, or, investing in a company that's actively trying to reduce plastic waste? So, we've established that bottled water is often no purer than tap water, it comes with potential health risks, it's an environmental nightmare, and it's ridiculously expensive. You're probably thinking, well, this is all very depressing, what am I supposed to do, just die of thirst? Well, first of all, calm down. No one's suggesting you give up hydration altogether. There are other ways to quench your thirst without resorting to single-use plastic bottles, and no, I'm not about to suggest you start collecting rainwater in buckets or digging a well in your backyard. Although, if you have the space and you're feeling ambitious, who am I to judge? The solution is simpler than you might think. Use a reusable water bottle. Yes, it's that simple. Invest in a good quality BPA-free bottle. Stainless steel or glass are great options, and make it your new best friend. Carry it with you everywhere you go, like a fashionable accessory that also happens to keep you hydrated. And if you're worried about your tap water, invest in a water filter for your home. There are plenty of affordable and effective options available, from simple pitcher filters to more sophisticated faucet or undersink systems. Think of it as an investment in your health, your wallet, and the planet. Finally, support efforts to improve public water systems in your community. Contact your local representatives, donate to organizations working on water access and conservation, and spread the word about the importance of clean, affordable water for everyone. Bottled water may seem convenient, but the cost to your health, wallet, and planet is simply too high. We've been led down a path paved with plastic, lured by the promise of purity and convenience. But it's time to wake up and realize that the solution is literally in our hands. By making a few simple changes, you can make a big difference, for yourself and for the world. Choose to refill, choose to filter, choose to support sustainable solutions. Because every time you say no to a plastic bottle, you're saying yes to a healthier, cleaner, and more equitable future. If you found this video eye-opening, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, family, neighbors, mail carrier, that guy you always see at the grocery store but never actually talk to. Basically, spread the message far and wide. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on healthy and sustainable living. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.